we'll get started in uno second. All right, here we go. I need to get better at these openings. But now, let us begin. All right, so what we are going to do today is we are going to, so currently we have a lift and then we have a variation. And I don't really know how to do, what can I do, like, yeah, it's like one to many. So sorry, the other way around, one to many. But anyway, so yeah, there's like a variation. A lift can have any number of variations, and they are like heavily locked to it, to the point of where even there's like this idea of so a variation has a name, and then like a lift. What does a lift has? A lift has a name, a category. A name, a color. I think that's it. Right, so like the color is like if you can like highlight certain things, so anything of this like specific category gets highlighted in that way. And then a variation actually has a full name, which is like a get parameter of like this dot name plus lift dot name. So it creates this like really weird dynamic where they're like hyper based on each other. Hyper based. So what I want to do is I want to refactor everything such that I don't want you to be like super squiggly anymore. Yeah, so we're gonna update this to be category, and the category will have a name and it will still have a color, and it might have some other things like a shape. There's this idea I had a long time ago of like certain variations or certain lifts would have like a star or something. Right now there's favorite, but like you could also, you know, highlight something in a way. And then instead of variations, we would have movement. So movement would have all the same stuff that it would have before. It'd have like name, it'll have, yeah, like its own ID. Why am I blanking on what a movement has? It will have its own tempo, like a default tempo. It will have like some other fields like one rep max, like max reps, Emax, Tmax type thing. But now, instead of it being like a lift has a bunch of variations, a movement will belong to a category, right? So it's like the same relationship, right? But it really kind of just separates the two in an actual like either in both a like rationale way of just like these are the different things that these objects represent, and then also yeah, it just it really kind of separates the two in that way, right? So now we have movements, we have categories, and then so there's also like a bunch of things that are going to change quite a bit. So now let's start thinking about UI. So currently in the dashboard, so the dashboard has a bunch of graphs, and those graphs are currently lifts. So what I will need to do is update them to be a category instead, right? So they'll represent a category. That's fine. That's relatively, I'm going to get rid of shape because I don't actually have that concept yet, and I don't think it matters. And then the other thing that I want to do as well is like movement without category, right? So the default set of graphs will be lifts, like will be the categories that currently are lifts, and then any movement that doesn't have a category. There's also potential that like I just have categories up here And then you just get like all your movements, like individual movements down there. Or I just leave it at categories, and then there's also an idea where I put a button in the top corner for a search. Right, so it would be like bop, 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 and then we'd have like movement. Well, this would actually just be like all movements. But I would still probably want to put like, so this would be like back squat, bench press. This could be squats, bench presses, overhead presses, right? Like you could kind of like categorize these in a way that you really want to. So like a military press versus, because right now they all kind of have to go under press. So yeah, I think that's how that's going to work. And then the other thing that needs to change is currently the let me go check if Sarah's cooking something. Babe, are you cooking something? Okay, that makes sense. There's something smelled like cooking, so I wanted to make sure that somebody was intending them. Yeah. Sarah's making coffee. Okay, so getting back to this. So the other thing is currently, I don't actually know what this. So yeah, I need to actually like show the page for this. So here's currently like the edit lift page, right? So this will become edit category, which would really just kind of like show a list of things below, and then you might be able to add certain things. I don't really think I would want you to like add categories here, but it would just kind of go in there, and then you could edit, and then you could maybe change the color, the name, that kind of stuff, because that's really all that I want to be editable there. But there really isn't like an edit variation page or like a create variation page. So that's also something that I'm going to need to, that's something that I'm also going to need to make, right? So really this is going to be like name, I'll have like the tempo bar, sorry, default tempo. There will be a checkbox for body weight. What else do I need here? And then like, there's something I want to put here where it's like last set, and then there will just be like a set row here, and then there's also like best set. And then I'll do something like that, and then there will also probably be like if somebody really wants to go crazy, they could like put in history. And this will really just be like weight, sorry, reps by weight, and then date. And I could do an RPE selector here as well. That's going to be complicated, but whoa. I think I like this idea. It's obviously like not. And the notes. Like there's also the optional notes there, but I don't think they really need to be there during create. I don't really have an inline way of creating a set, which all right, let's get started on this, I think. So first, what do I need to do? First, I need to merge the stuff that I was working on before. Okay, it's fine. We'll just continue with this. I don't know why I was logged out, but I don't want to log in because I'll probably type in something that I will regret. So we go. I want to like SQL delight migrations concatenate strings. I also just realized this is off. String concatenations migration is primarily focused on migrating the database schema, such as adding or altering tables when handling data within your application. Essential for updating, blah, blah, blah. Like this. Light migrations, merge strings. Like, I don't think I need to be looking at SQL Delight here. Code migrations. Well, creating SQL files, alter your database schema, such as adding or modifying columns, like alter table to update. To merge strings in a migration, you would typically use SQL statements to concatenate or update string values in your tables. Okay. So let's think about what we're actually doing here. So we're doing a few things. We are alter table lift. How would that work? Alter table lift rename to. But how does this work with the actual and then I just go like lift SQL, and then my assumption is that I just create a new category here. Oh, no such table lifts. Okay, okay, cool. Cool. So I now still have... Like, do I need to delete this now? And then it'll like throw an error. I know I kind of messed up where I will need to go back and like revert changes, and oh, I actually didn't check. Yeah, so we're gonna fix backup more. Yeah, and then we're going to go to main. We are going to list two categories, and then we're going to commit. No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep going. So I'm going to delete this. Ah. Do I need to keep category, like lift around? Like I do. And then I also want to alter table variation, rename to movement. Okay, so there's also some cascading effects here, which I did for C. Ooh. What the fuck? Bang, 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 bang. This is now bang, 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 bang. Am I doing this the wrong way? Okay, let's stash this for a second. So what I think I should be doing, we're gonna have to clear the app. Why are you crashing now? Did I not? All right, there we go. Now, where was I? List the categories. Okay, so it's kind of annoying. Why? Yeah, I should actually. Let's merge this down, and then I think there's going to be. Yeah, that's fine. And then there's a lint issue. So let's actually just go back here. Undetect format. I don't actually care about the work I did here. Let's just run that again. Huh? Then why did lint fail? Yeah, fix backup. Lint is working. Whatever. I'll fix it in this other branch. Sorry, people. Okay, so that should be working now. Now we can probably get rid of this. So what I want to check here is if I go and just rename, so let's get rid of and go alter table lift, rename to category, and then if we go into lift SQ, what happens if I just rename all of this there? I think it's going to run into an issue because like the generation failed. Maybe I just have to clean. Okay. Invalidate restart the Android way. I'm actually going to use this as an opportunity to grab a Coke. Okay. Ooh. I'm back. All right, let's see if this runs. Is it because I don't have... So I do think I need both of them. Oh, whoops. Nah. That should work now. So we have categories being categories and lists being lists, and right, so now this is going to run into an issue because I have received a request. One second. Sorry, 1 second. All right, so oh wait, now we have all the category stuff. Category name, category color. All right, we're still gonna like have this get all for lift. I think that makes sense for now, just to avoid more breakage, but more brackencourage. I don't know why I said it that way. No idea why. So this is still no such table category. While compiling select. So we do have this. Did I ever rename? How do I add a rename column? Okay, so actually I need to figure this out first. So why? So I do have category. I do have category here, so I'm kind of confused because normally I would have to like create the table, but I don't need to create the table here. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna see. what Dante thinks. Ooh. Yeah, sure. I should rename my current lift table to category. Walk me through those steps. So we've renamed it to category. No such table category. But if I change this back to lift, all right, let's actually do this step by step. So it did complain about like 1, and then we tried to just kind of update everything. All right, so we crash. We crash. No such table lift. CATE. I'm an idiot. Not an idiot, but you know. Sometimes very much not the brightest. Lift to category migration. Then we go here, we reset the app, we rerun the app. All right, so now, why are you crashing now? Oh, fuck. I didn't commit the actual changes I made. I reverted everything and then got rid of it. So I want to do all of this, all of this. There we go. Now we should run and it should be fine. There's probably going to be some issues with other things, but this is from the actual... Okay, so now what if I delete lift? Yeah, it still doesn't work. I think I need to keep it around for at least a run. So if I go to the lift repository, so this is still gonna fail because So this is going to be category queries, and then if we go to domain here, we just got to change this to category, and then that solves that. So I think this all should be relatively good for just being able to fetch the things that I need. Why is that an issue? Oh, no. Wait, where did I do the to domain? Damn, where was that? I want to make that private. Where is this happening? All right, so we have the lifting log adapter, we have the goal adapter. There's no need for let's just try and get rid of all instances. Oh, this is a build file? Yeah, I don't care about that. I think that's pretty much anywhere. Oh, is this used anywhere? Shit. So this is where the errors are coming from then, because this was still directly referencing the data source, which should not exist, although this is using lift queries now. Sorry, category queries. All right, we're running. It's seeming correct. Which I know, a great way to... Okay, so now we have that migration. So, we've got that. Now we need to, I'll zoom in a second. So now we also need to rename variation, right? So, movement. And then I also want to rename the field lift ID to be category ID. Rename field. Rename column. Jeez.